Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nux. Right now, we're going to get into a nice little podcast. It's the RotoTalk podcast for fantasy basketball 2018 to 2019. I got my panelists right here. I got Russ. What's going on, Russ?
What's going on, Fred? Representing Win Corp.
Okay,
Loving it, loving it.
got you.
Happy to happy to join in on the conversation.
Okay, Roddy Rod, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Fred? What's going on, Russ? Got a nice little topic today we're talking about, so I'm ready to get it started.
Let's
All
get
right.
into it. Let's get into it, fellas.
All right, so today's topic for the RotoTalk podcast, top 5 rookies for fantasy basketball for the 2018-2019 season. Each one of us is going to give our top 5 picks and pretty much give a breakdown on, what we kind of predict for stat-wise, how they can contribute for fantasy purposes and real-life purposes too. So, which one of y'all want to start it off, man? I got to go through my notes real quick. I know this was a good topic, so.
I'll get it kicked off. This was funny looking at it. It's funny looking at it from a fantasy perspective because you got to look at it from a lot of different angles. So, top 5 for me, number 5 is a little bit of a mix-up, but I think he's going to have a great year. I think the addition of LeBron James is going to inflate his stats and inflate his contribution to the team. I think his youth will help with the fact that he'll get a lot of opportunities, and I think he'll get a lot of touches, and I think he'll get a lot of spotlight in the offense that they're going to run, especially it's going to be up-tempo. So I got Mo Wagner coming out of Michigan as my number 5 guy. I got him at 11 points, 10 rebounds. Again, he's 3 guy who can run the floor, good size, good space. I think he's going to complement LeBron James tremendously. If you always look at LeBron James teams, he always has a big guy who runs the floor, who spaces, who shoots the outside jump shot. I think that that's really why they brought Mo Wagner in with that in mind. So I think that he's going to put up 11 and 10, but I think he's going to add 3-pointers. I think he's going to put up 1 to 2. I'm going on the high end with these picks. I'm going to go 2 threes a game. Shooting 38% from 3, 48% from 3. Same thing with field goal percentages. Number 4.
Hold on.
Let's go round table. I'm getting excited, ladies.
Hold on. All right, so if you was a fantasy owner, what round would you draft him in?
12-team league?
Yeah.
I would probably say very late. I would say 8 or 9.
8 or 9. You probably could get him later than that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Can. But I think when you look at Mo Wagner and you look at that team, especially they have no other big men who are going to be running the floor with them. So looking at it from that perspective, they got Ivan Zubac, who can't space, who can't shoot. They got JaVale McGee, who's not that type of guy. So I think he's underrated. So that's my number 5 guy.
You think he'll come out the gate starting, or is it going to be?
I got to interject. Lifetime, long time fan. I don't know where he's going to get the minutes. Kyle Kuzma is balling. 6'10". He can run the floor. I like the lineup of Kyle Kuzma, LeBron James, Brandon Ingram, Lance Stevenson, Josh Hart, whatever Lance Ball. I don't see Mo Wagner having that big of an impact. I see more around 6 points, maybe a couple of threes, some minutes. We're stacked 1 through 10. I got to see how he's going to carve out the minutes. And if I'm shooting for a rookie, I like the dudes V that we got who can also shoot, who just helped his team win a European championship overseas. Mo Wagner's already banged up right now. I don't really see him carving out that much of minutes starting off. I don't see him having that much of an impact. And I already know Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and Josh Hart and everybody else is working on their game to help space out to be 3-and-D guys to knock down the 3-ball, to run the court with LeBron James. Because, one, he's going to be a weakness on defense because he sucked in defense in college. I know that for a fact. So if you can't play D like that, we don't need you. We don't need another daggone Tristan Thompson going out there who really can't do too much. So I like JaVale McGee coming off, running the floor, catching alley-oops, blocking, playing the D, letting other wings knock down the 3. I don't see Mo Wagner being in the top 5 as rookies. I just don't see it.
All right.
So let me ask you a question. So you're saying that the lineup they're going to run with is who? Who's going to get a majority of the burn? An opportunity?
Out of 10, first of all, we know Rondo's going to get it, Lonzo Ball. That's 2 people right there. Josh Hart is going to get one, Lance Stevenson, KCP. Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, JaVale McGee, and we got V. We have it's stacked.
Hold
I
on,
don't believe. I don't see Mo Wagner getting that.
hold on. So you just named the entire team. I'm talking about actual
That's who.
people who are going to get the spotlight.
Every last one of them are going to get minutes. Every last one of them. We're gonna rotate the lineup based upon matchups. They already said that. They already talked about the killer lineup going against other teams. I don't really see where Mo Wagner is going to carve out those big minutes. I just don't see it.
So Roddy, so they've also talked about not putting out an identical lineup and a fast lineup similar to the Warriors because they said you can't beat the same type of play. You can't play the same.
They're not playing just for the Warriors. They're not playing just for the Warriors. It's for other teams as well. The Houston Rockets, everybody.
So for where I'll counter you is the guys you just named, a lot of one-year contract guys. I think Rondo's a great player. I think Lonzo's going to get more opportunities because he's got the youth. Again, similar player. He's got more upside, and they got more.
You do know we're not developing our rookies this year. You know what I mean?
KCP, same thing with Josh Hart. Kyle Kuzma, same thing when you look down the line at the bigs with Kyle Kuzma, and I think the same thing with Wagner.
Who can shoot, and who's been working on this game is going to play some small forward this year. Keep going.
But the rest of the bigs can't.
This is the positionless basketball. It's no longer a 5 or 4 center. Exactly. It's positionless now.
And that's where I'll counter you again. They're not going to put up the same matchup. They're not going to put up the same lineup.
And Mo Wagner is a weakness on defense.
They're not going to put LeBron James at the 5.
I didn't say he's going to play they're going to some lineups. They're going to put him at the 5. He's going to play the 4. Kyle Kuzma can play some bigs. They're going to be a positionless basketball team. And you really think JaVale McGee's not going to play?
Hold up.
I think that Mo Wagner is going to get priority over him. 7 foot, who's more athletic in terms of running the floor.
You're wrong. He is not more athletic than JaVale McGee. Stop right there. Stop.
Let's pause. Let's pause for the cause real quick, yo.
JaVale McGee does run the floor. Yes.
Just for the record, for everybody that's watching, these are 2 diehard Lakers fans.
No. It's one diehard Lakers fan. I don't switch lots. He's a Warriors fan. Let's keep it 100. I've been since Magic Johnson, baby. I'm just saying. That's one diehard and one flip flopper. Let's keep it real.
All right, look. All right, we're gonna.
How am I a flip flopper again?
Hold on.
Flip flopper again?
You're a Warriors fan too. I didn't see the Warriors had one.
Because I got a Warriors hat for Christmas. That's why I'm a flip flopper.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. My family know what I like. My family know what I like. They always buy me Lakers.
JaVale always buy me Lakers. Out here, guys on the line. Keep talking.
Come on. They always buy me Lakers.
Hold on. Keep talking.
My family knows who I like.
JaVale McGee fan. I got a hat for Christmas. I'm all of a sudden a flip flopper. Let's get back to the topic again.
JaVale McGee fan.
Who are the big men? You still haven't answered my question. I
already answered your question. JaVale McGee's going to play. What are you talking about?
So JaVale McGee.
And you think Mo Wagner's going to average 11 and 10? Okay.
Roddy, just because you're talking about doesn't mean anything.
Now?
Let's move on. All right, let's finish the top 5. All right, so look, we are going to go back and watch this. You know what I mean? Watch this show and see who's.
I got Roddy's top 5. I got Jaren Jackson. I already know Roddy's got Jaren Jackson number 5.
Actually, you're wrong. You don't know me. This is the guy like Rubio over John Wall. Like, come on now. I'm listening to you.
Roddy. That was 2009. I think.
It doesn't matter.
Who was Mayweather fighting that? Who was Mayweather fighting that night?
No, you said that when we was coaching basketball. Actually, you was on the phone. I talked to Nux about that. So that wasn't about the Mayweather fight. You said that beforehand.
I said that last year.
Finish. Let's finish. Let's come on. That was only one. That was only one. That's Mo Wagner right there. All right. So that's number 1 for not number 1 in order, but just in the top 5 rookies.
I got him from fantasy purposes.
All right. So who else you got?
Are we going around or are we going down my 5?
All right, I can. Now you do your 5. I do my 5. Roddy do his 5. We're just gonna give a breakdown of predictions, and then we'll talk about each other.
I got Roddy's predictable 5.
You don't have mine at all.
Roddy's. What did you say, JaVale McGee fan? Colin Sexton. I got number 4. I got. You're not a fan of JaVale McGee? You said his name like 20 times.
No, I know he's definitely going to bring the value to the team. That's what I said. Not a fan. He's going to bring value.
1-year contract.
I'm not a LeBron James fan, but he brings value.
There goes Loudy. I'm gonna call you Loudy, not Roddy. Loudy. Listen,
I'm gonna call you Rufus. Okay, Rufus.
They're gonna get more.
All right, Rufus. Okay, Rufus, get to your
Someone's got to
top
speak.
five, Rufus. Rufus, get
It's
to
a
your top five,
podcast.
Ruf.
It's a podcast.
All right,
Not a
Ruf,
one man. Not a
get to
one
your
man
top
radio.
five, Ruf.
It's not.
Go ahead,
It's not a
Ruf.
one man radio. It's not
You
a one
keep
man
coming to
radio.
me. Get to your top five, Ruf.
I'm gonna go back to my justification. I'm gonna do like I said I was gonna say.
All right, Rufus,
JaVale McGee over a first round pick. Keep that in mind.
a bottom first round pick. Keep that in mind. Go ahead, Rufus. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter where you drafted. It doesn't matter where you drafted, Rufus. Doesn't matter, man.
I like that name, Rufus.
I'm glad you do.
For Colin Sexton. Loudy, I'm talking. Loudy.
All right, Rufus. Go ahead, Rufus.
Be quiet.
Nah, Rufus.
I'm
Go
going.
ahead.
I'm trying. Loudy, I'm trying.
Get through it, Rufus. Get through it, Rufus.
Loudy.
Come on, Rufus. Come on, man. Let's get through it, man. Come on, Mr. Fantasy Platinum. Oh, that's right, you bronze. Go ahead, Rufus.
You're switching up names now, Loudy? I'm going to keep
this is Fantasy Podcast, Rufus. Fantasy Bronze. Come on, Bronze.
I got Colin Sexton, number 4. Colin Sexton is going to have complete control of Cleveland offense. It's going to be tough because I think field goal-wise, he's not going to be the best perimeter shooter. But I think he's going to go 14, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. I think he's going to do well in terms of defense and steals. So I think that he's definitely going to be a top 5 guy. Number three, I got Kevin Knox. I think he's going to have a big year. No Porzingis, going to get a lot of opportunities. Big guy, too. He's like 6'7", 6'8", long, good wingspan. Again, I think he can space the floor as well in terms of he can pull up from outside and shoot the 3 really well. So 17, 6, say a couple threes a game on the high end. No, it's a little bit of a high estimate, but I think Kevin Knox is definitely going to be there. Number 2, this guy's raised a lot for me, guys. Luka Doncic. A lot of people are loving this kid. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos, Fred, over the past 3 weeks on him. 6'7", bigger guy than what I originally thought. I thought he was 6'4", 6'5", but when I see the tape on him, he's pretty big, can shoot, can do pretty much everything. Dirk, Barnes, DJ, everyone said good things about him in practice, so I think he's going to be a top guy. I think he's going to put up a lot of assists. I think he's going to be a good guy in terms of having the ball in his hand and, really controlling, the rock, which I think is going to – I think people think that Dennis Smith is going to challenge him there, which that's open to debate. But from what everyone's saying, he's looking like he's going to be, controlling the rock as well because they're saying he's got a good court vision and he could definitely give out some good passes. Number 1, I got Ayton. Ayton's prototypical center, 7'1", good wingspan. No one out there to challenge him in terms of Devin Booker's out there, obviously, but in terms of other big men, he's going to get a lot of focal opportunities. He's going to be the focal point of the offense. So I got him as my number 1. So to recap, I got my boy Mo Wagner, definitely 100% top 5. I got Colin Sexton, Kevin Knox, Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton.
Okay. All right. I got some of them in my top 5, man. I'm gonna get into mine right now. I wrote down 6. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm gonna put a top 5 together just for the sake of the show, and then I'm gonna give who I think is gonna be. We'll get into it, man. All right.
Before we get going, Loudy, I want to thank you for giving me that opportunity to get an actual word in without you getting some loud noise. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Fred.
Roddy, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Next, do it.
He's respecting. He's being respectful. I like it.
All right, so this is in no particular order.
Okay.
I think at 5, I'm gonna go with Wendell Carter Jr. I think he's gonna be probably the starting center with Chicago. They pretty much are ready to get rid of Robin Lopez last season and benched him for most of the season anyway. So I think he's going to come in. I don't think him playing in Duke last year showcased what he's really capable of doing. I think this year, the kid's blocking everything. So if you're looking for a source of blocks, some rebounds, maybe 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. That's what I got him, down. With Jabari Parker, I think Jabari Parker and Zach LaVine is going to handle a lot of the scoring load and marketing. And, they got Chris Dunn. So I think he'll fit right in, man. He's a good center, solid. I think he's going to be a sleeper in the draft as well. I'm gonna go a little bit different. I'm gonna touch on some people that Russell didn't touch on. I'm gonna say Trae Young. If you're looking for fantasy purposes, um, he has to really be bad for him to be a complete bust. I know he's going to have some up and down games where he might go 3 for 20. Some games he might go off for 30, but they traded Dennis Schroeder for this kid. So he has no other choice but to at least do something. So I got
He's
him.
gonna have a rough. He's gonna have a rough first half of the year. There's no way to cut it. They're gonna go at his head first half of the year. So Trae Young, he's gonna end up being. I'm telling you, man. I got serious doubts about Trae Young in terms of how he's gonna turn out in the league in general.
I'm just saying
he has a lot of Trey Burke written all over him, and people.
But the difference is Trey Burke came to a team where they already had Gordon Hayward, Derek Favors. Atlanta has nobody but John Collins and Taurean Prince. So he's gonna have to put up 20 shots a game just to even get maybe 15 points. But for fantasy purposes, I think he's good far as a source of threes. He could get you like 2 to 3 threes a game. He can dime. That's the one thing he can do. So I think he can get you like at least 6 assists. I would not draft him for turnover purposes and field goal percentages. You got to throw that out the window if you want to draft him. But he's going to have an opportunity to at least show that he's either a bust or he's going to be okay. He could be in for a rough year. He could get better as the year go by. But, I mean, this kid got a ton of opportunity. They traded their whole backcourt, their starting point guard for him. So we're going to see. Next, I got DeAndre Ayton, of course. I think he's in everybody's top 5. I see him as being a double-double machine, 1.5 blocks, playing in there in Phoenix. Him and Devin Booker and Josh Jackson are pretty much the cornerstones now for Phoenix. So he's going to have all the opportunity in the world to, showcase what he got. I think he's going to be a good big. For fantasy purposes and real life, man, I think he's straight. I got 3 left, but I'm only can go with 2. I'm gonna go with Kevin Knox. I like Kevin Knox this year. I know they got the dude Super Mario. I know they got Tim Hardaway still there, but I think he can fill in at that power forward spot that Porzingis is going to be out most of the year anyway. So, like you said, I think he can average anywhere between 15 to 16 to 17 points a night. I think his field goal percentages is going to suffer a little bit because he can jack up shots. But as the season go on, he might get stronger, or he might start out real hot and then fade off a little bit. But I still think he's going to be solid, man. I like him. 15, 16 points a game, 6 rebounds, maybe like a 3.5. And my last one, I'm gonna go with my personal pick. So here's I like Colin Sexton. I think Colin Sexton has a great chance at being like this year's version, maybe poor man's Donovan Mitchell-ish type player. You know what I mean? He's 6'2", scoring guard. I do not trust George Hill in that backcourt. George Hill can't stay healthy. He's not going to play the whole season. He might get traded for all we know. I think that this is the new Cleveland, starting with Colin Sexton. They gave Kevin Love a good, a payday. But, he can get traded at any given moment, and he can't stay healthy either. So I think this whole team is pretty much going to be handed to Colin Sexton for now. I do like Rodney Hood there. I do like Jordan Clarkson. I think he'll fit in well because he can play defense. He's going to get you a couple steals. He's going to score, and he can dime. The kid's nice. So that's my top 5. I was going to put Luka Doncic in there, but here's my pros and my cons for him. I think he's getting put into a good system where I don't see him being a point guard because he's not fast enough. He's not that athletic. He's a little bit slower, but he has good court vision. He can dime. I could say if they put him as like a point forward, maybe that will work. But I think the expectations for him is going to be so high. And I just think of like Ricky Rubio when he first came in. Everybody loved Rubio. And it took Rubio some time to gel. I don't want nobody to call him a bust just yet.
I got to counter you on all that, Fred, because have you seen tape on him?
Absolutely. That's why I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't understand. You don't think he's quick enough? You don't think off the pick and roll in the NBA, given his size and his shooting ability,
Do you think
Like that's where compared to Trey Young, like Trey Young couldn't handle. He was getting bodied up in the summer league.
But
So
let
to
me ask
look
you
at
this.
him,
But let me ask you this. We didn't see him in the summer league, so we don't know what he's going to do.
we
So
don't need
that's
to see him
number
in the
one.
summer league. He's playing pros overseas for the last 3 years.
Are they NBA players? Yes or no?
Yes,
No.
they're NBA players. He played against.
Is there one Russell Westbrook there? Is there one Steph Curry?
Fred. He
No,
played against Kristaps. He
let me
played against Kristaps Porzingis.
let me
He beat
finish.
him in the championship game.
Let me finish. Kristaps Porzingis is a 7'2" power forward center. Luka Doncic is playing point guard overseas. If you bring him in against the point guards in the NBA, who are a lot faster and a lot more athletic, I'm not saying that he's not going to be good. I'm saying that he's playing out of position if he comes to the NBA and be a point guard. If you put him at the 2 or the 3, I think he could thrive better as being a point forward. I'm not saying that.
But this is what you said. You say he's not athletic. He's not athletic enough in terms of speed. And looking at the competition, comparing the competition, all I'm saying is he may not. There's no LeBron James over there, obviously, but the level of competition he's playing over there in Europe. Fuck.
What's up? No, I mean, how I see it is like this. He's not an NBA point guard. That's just point blank period. Now at 6'7", he's not fast enough to be an NBA point guard. When I think of a big point guard like Ben Simmons, he's fast, he's strong, he has great court vision, and he's athletic as hell. I do not see that in Luka Doncic. So I can't sit there and say that he's a point guard in the NBA. Shooting guard, small forward, I can see him playing. He's 6'7". He could play a wing. He's more like a Manu Ginobili type of player. Manu Ginobili's not a point guard. He's a 2. He's a 3. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm looking at when it comes to Luka Doncic as being in the NBA. I think he could thrive better off the ball and just handling the rock and passing the ball like that. And I can't sit there and say that he's a better point guard than Dennis Smith Jr. at this point. But I guess Russell's dealing with some technical difficulties. Roddy, what's good, man?
What's going on, man?
I mean, I don't know. Like
Listen. You are definitely on point with Luka Doncic. He's got all this hype. Yeah, he's played overseas and top competition. It's not NBA competition. I don't want to hear that. It's an NBA competition. You say, yeah, it's journeymen who cannot make it in the NBA who's overseas balling. It's not nobody over there like a Westbrook, like a John Wall, who will cook him if he tries to guard them. That's number one. Number two, like you said, he's 6'7". He's going to be like a more of a point forward type wing type player. And I want to see his game translate. I don't trust a lot of European players when they come on because they don't all pan out. You got some of the unicorns, the Dirks, the Manus, and the Kristaps Porzingis. I can't go off of anybody else. Maybe back in the day, Arvydas Sabonis, but he came over when he was older and still was effective. Other than that, it's not a lot of European players that come over right away and have a great impact. Now, maybe after 2-3 seasons, he might be that guy they talking about. But I don't think the first year he is. And like you said, you got that Dennis Smith factor. If you're really doing your scouting, if you see Dennis Smith's off-season workouts, what he's working on, how's he improved, and what the coaching staff is saying about him, they're not just going to take the balls out of his hand and just not have him do anything. So I agree. You're right. I agree with Luka Doncic. I'm not really high on him like that.
Hey guys. I'm sorry I'm back. Apologies about that.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, we're just going in on Doncic. I think everybody has different projections for him. Like I said, I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's an NBA point guard. I think he has to play off the ball.
But to come back to what I was originally saying, I think the competition and the level of competition he's played overseas shows what he's capable of compared to Trey Young, where, in my opinion, he's still a small guard. He's still a freshman coming out of school, and he got bodied up sometimes in the summer league. And Doncic, Fred, I don't think he's going to have a lot of pressure because he's playing with because he's playing with Dirk, because he's playing with a lot of good pieces around him, Barnes, Smith, etc. He's going to be able to come in and excel, and he's already shown that he can play around good talent. So I'm telling you, like, the fact that they're speaking out about him says volumes, in my opinion. So that's where him versus Trey Young, like Jaren Jack. Like I was joking about Roddy, but like seriously, Trey Young, I got serious doubts about him this year. He's really got, in my opinion, the most to prove.
Yeah, I mean, I think Doncic's got the most. He had the most hype. You know what I mean? So he's going to be having a bullseye on him the whole time. Like I understand in Euro basketball, that's great. He's doing good. But I mean, there was other young players that did great overseas too. I mean, Jan Vesley or whatever, Von Wesley, whatever the dude that the Wizards hyped up like he was going to be the next Blake Griffin. So it's a lot. It's a lot of European players that get hyped up. I'm not sitting there saying this kid is not going to be decent. I think he can be. I think he's going into an ideal situation because now you already have your point guard in Dennis Smith, who you can play off the ball or on the ball. You already have a power forward in Harrison Barnes. You got your center in DeAndre Jordan. You know what I mean? You even got Wes Matthews that can space the floor. So he's coming into an ideal situation where he can start at the 3 and handle the rock a little bit. Then I can't see him guarding the Westbrooks on a night-to-night basis. There's no way he's going to guard Westbrook. There's no way.
But he doesn't have to. He's 6'7". He's going to guard the 2. Or he's going to guard the 3. You're going to have Dennis Smith guarding that.
Well, that's why I'm saying he's not a point guard. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole. I think that's the argument I'm making. I'm not saying if he's going to have success. I'm not saying
he doesn't have to play point guard to handle the rock. I mean, he doesn't have to line up or play the position of point guard in order to handle the ball the majority of the time or in crucial moments.
But that was his position in Euro. That's what I'm saying. So he was a point guard in the Euro League.
He's 6'7", bro. He's 6'7". He ain't gonna be. He ain't gonna.
I mean, but
he can play all 3 positions.
Ben Simmons is 6'10" and he plays point guard to a perfection. Why? He has all the intangibles as far as athleticism. He can get to the hole. He can drive. He's strong as all get out. I don't see that in Luka Doncic. That's why I'm saying he's not an NBA point guard. I see him as more like a 2 and a 3 that can handle the rock. I mean, I will hope that he can have a career like a Brandon Roy. You know what I mean? Brandon Roy was 6'5", 6'6". Wasn't a traditional point guard, but played off the ball, but handled.
I got a comparison for you. Manu. You compare Manu in the way Manu plays off the pick and roll. He plays like a point, but he's not a point. And that's what they're saying this kid can play like, except he's a lot better. Like, that's a comparison that they've gotten. So when you look at the way, in terms of the weapons they have and the players around him, I don't think he's going to have as much. Like, Trae Young's going to have to go right into Atlanta and perform. I'm telling you, if he comes out the gate averaging, let's say, 10 to 12 points, shooting 35, 38% from the floor, which we all know is possible, he's going to face a lot of heat.
I don't think he's going to face any more heat than Doncic in Dallas. You know what I mean? Because Trae Young is in Atlanta. Nobody's checking for Atlanta for anything, so he can go in there and bomb out, whatever the case may be. But I'm not
Atlanta for Trae Young. Facts.
I'm not. I mean,
Roddy, go ahead. My bad, Fred. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just saying. I feel like even with the Dallas organization, if you're looking at it like this, you have an old player in Dirk Nowitzki who's about to retire soon, and you're trying to sell hope to a bunch of fans by saying this guy that we drafted is the truth. They did the same thing with Dennis Smith last year. They gave him the keys. Dennis Smith had a great rookie season. Not bad, but he wasn't Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that I think Doncic is going to be decent. I'm not saying he's going to have a terrible career, but they were hyped over this kid Bogdanovich in Sacramento as well back in the like a couple years ago. Like, it's always that European guard. They was hyped on Super Mario. They said the same stuff about Mario. Like, and what did he do?
I don't know but for Roddy, what's your opinion?
I'm gonna go ahead and get in my top 5. Mine's not even in any order. It's just my top 5. I actually have 7 rookies I like, but I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna do 5. DeAndre Ayton goes without saying. All the opportunity, talented. They can average a double. Definitely at least get 1 block a game. He's been working on his jumper. Might get a couple threes here and there, but not averaging any threes. But he's definitely have a good year as rookie. I like Trae Young, and everybody keeps talking about all his scoring, but Trae Young's greatest asset, the boy can pass. You forget that. He can actually assist the ball, and he's a playmaker. So he might not be able to score and have a bad field goal percentages, but he's still going to have a decent solid year, and he has all the opportunity in Atlanta. The only person there, to me, scoring wise, is John Collins. And if you want to count Mr. Jeremy Lin, but Jeremy Lin stays in and out, and he's not going to have any effect on Trae Young. The keys to the city are to Trae Young. They made the trade for him. They wanted him, so they got him. I like Wendell Carter. This guy, I think, eventually, like you said, they need to get rid of Robin Lopez and just run with the youth movement. Wendell Carter is ready now. He touches all aspects like an Al Horford type player, and I think he's going to be very effective as years go on to be one of them franchise cornerstone centers for them. Then I like Colin Sexton. I liked him in high school. Boy, he's tough. He's gritty. He's definitely going to be get up in people's other guards, get some steals. He's not going to have a great field goal percentage, but he's definitely going to score something because he can get to the lane and he can finish. So I like him definitely there at Cleveland. And then I like Kevin Knox. Of course, it goes without saying. Boy, 6'9", 213 pounds, can put the ball on the floor, get to the lane. He can stroke it from three. He's definitely long enough. He's athletic enough. You definitely play some D. He can switch out on threes and fours. So I definitely like him. And for some reason, I don't know why, I like Aaron Holiday as well. For one, all they got there as a point guard wise is Darren Collison. Darren Collison stays banged up. He's always in and out. He's not trustworthy. Aaron Holiday had a great summer league. He's definitely improved over the years of UCLA. He's not a freshman coming out. He's like a junior coming out. So he has that experience there. He's not afraid of it because he has brothers in the NBA, so he definitely knows what it's about. And I think he's going to have a solid impact on that team. And definitely, if Darren Collison goes down, he's definitely going to be the point guard to pick up the hold down, the fourth down for him, and getting the ball out and creating some things. So those are my top five. And then I want to put out somebody else who I think may have an impact. Is Mr. Lonnie Walker. I like him, especially coming off the bench as a six man. Filling that role that Manu Ginobili has just left. They got Mr. DeRozan there, but at the end of the day, you still need more than just DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, and I think he's going to step up. They're definitely high on him. His game definitely translates. He can play on both sides of the ball. So I think as it goes on, he's going to be one of them second half rookies that you're going to look back and say, yeah, second season, he's definitely going to step up. So those are my top five.
I like it. Russ, what'd you think?
I think it's good. I'm just shocked that you don't see where I'm coming from with the Mo Wagner pick, but you would put a guy like Lonnie Walker in the mix. That like Roddy.
Lonnie Walker wasn't in my top five. I gave him my honorable mention. If you was listening, I said he's not my top five.
I know. I gave him my honorable mention. I know, but I didn't continue.
He's going to continue because you put something off on tape. I wanted to correct you. He's not my top five.
Well, I didn't continue. So
go ahead.
To correct. So
it is something to correct. You said it like he was in my top five. Because you're not going to put words in my mouth. He's not my top five.
I have no idea what you're talking about now. I'm going to continue with my one statement. I'm going to continue with the one statement. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not putting words in your mouth. So as a Laker fan, LeBron James, he's always played with a bigger type of power forward or a power forward who can space the floor. Now he's playing with a guy at Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner is 7 feet. If you looked at him in the tournament,
he's 6'10". He's 6'10". He's not 7 feet. He's 6 foot. Go do your facts first before you come on here trying to spit these words. He's not 7 feet. I'll bet you $20 right now. I'll bet you. Put $100 on it. Put $100 on it. He's not 7 foot. Put $100 on it.
I'll put $100 on it.
Matter of fact,
he's listed on the website. Go listen on the website.
He's not 7 feet. He's not 7 feet. Right now, 6'11", 240, which they gave him that because he's actually 6'10". He's not 7 feet. So thank you for my $100. Continue.
Y'all got any sleeper rookie picks, man? How you think?
I want to know when Russ gonna be relevant in fantasy basketball. Get a tip, baby, before you come talk that slick talk. You got nothing. You're a bum, dog. You're a bum.
Why are you talking
my fault, Rufus. My fault, Rufus. You right, 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 Rufus. Right. You right. You right about everything. You win everything. Everything you competed against again, football, basketball, you win, Rufus. So why should I value your opinion? Like, come on, dog.
Right.
Like, really? And you want to try to come at me when you're a flip flopper?
So
like, come on, man.
So
how about this? I'm about money. I'm about money. Let's put money on this. Another $100. You don't want no tip this year. What's up?
No. Listen. So this
money. No. I don't want to listen. Let's bet money. Bet money.
This is sad. I'm gonna let you
Bet money. I'm about money. That's how I shut people up. Put the money on the line.
I just won $100, so no. I'm
you
about
didn't.
money too.
He's not. You said he's 7 foot. He's not 7 foot.
Yes, he is. I'm gonna screenshot.
He's not 7 foot.
I'm gonna send it to Fred.
I got a screenshot too.
I said if we're going off NBA, and we have this recorded. I said if we're going off NBA.com, he's 7 feet tall.
No, he's not. He's not going off. That's NBA.com. I got a site as well.
You shouldn't agree to it, bro. You can't agree.
No, I'm right as well. I'm right as well. What are you talking about, man?
Oh my God. Oh, we gotta record it. But listen, this is what happens when
I'm glad we do.
This is what happens when you yell and you don't let someone finish a statement, a simple statement, bro. Don't talk yourself into a corner. It's simple one-on-one.
I'm not in the corner. I love being in the corner. That's the thing, baby. I love being in the corner because I prove people wrong. So the corners don't bother me. Maybe you, but don't bother me.
So you don't think he matches up and plays well with? Your argument is he doesn't match up and play well with LeBron James, but JaVale McGee and the other centers.
Fred, did I say that? Or did I say that he's not going to get enough minutes when he doesn't play D?
So he can shoot.
Once again, please put the right words in my mouth, please.
Fred, so Roddy, who's playing over him?
Who's playing over him?
Don't name the entire team. Seriously, give me names and give me minutes.
I can give you rotation minutes.
As a Laker fan, I can give you rotation minutes where he fits in with Kuzma's. In the Lonzos of the world, because they're going to get more opportunities.
He's not going to hurt.
All the players are going next year. This is audition year to bring in.
This is my argument. You put him in the top 5 and have him averaging a double-double, which he is not going to do. That's my point.
What's your memo name?
So look, hold on.
Come on, man.
Hold on. What's your memo name, bro?
Hold up. Listen. Time out. Hold up.
Roddy over the weekend.
Hold up. Listen.
Bro.
So look.
JaVale McGee?
Hey, Rod,
that's the argument?
JaVale McGee's not going to play? That's your argument? He plays defense and he runs the floor.
He's not going to get
He was a factor in the finals, so how he's not going to play for us? Like, get out of here, man.
He was a factor in one game in the finals. He's not
That's what they meant. No, it was the whole series.
I'm glad we're getting this on.
It was the whole series.
It
was the whole series. I'm glad we are too.
Time out. Time out.
And I won my $100.
Hold on.
We'll see.
Hey, time out, y'all. Time out. So look, just for the record, so everybody can be clear, let's put something down as a wager. We can come back to this show. Russ, by the end of the season, you're saying that Mo Wagner will be the starting center and will get significant double and significant minutes for the LA Lakers. Yes? Is that what you're saying? We're just going to make it clear and go in order.
I think Mo Wagner will have double-digit scoring and over 5 rebounds a game. And
No. That's not what you said at first. That's not what you said at first.
What did I say? I said 9 to 10.
You said you said a double-double. You said he averaged a double-double. You said a double-double.
I got the stats.
You said a double-double.
No, I didn't. You're an idiot. Listen, bro. I said 11 points. I said 11 points, 9 to 10 rebounds.
You said double-double.
I'm tired of letting you talk. You sound like an idiot.
You said double-double.
This is my factual statement. This is my factual statement.
It's not a factual statement.
It's an opinion. This is my factual statement.
It's an opinion.
He's going to get significant time.
It's an opinion.
He's going to get double points. He's going to get over 5 rebounds a game. And he'll definitely have a better season than Lonnie Walker.
All right, so okay.
That's fine. Lonnie Walker's not my top 5. Lonnie Walker's not my top 5, so that's fine. That's fine. Lonnie Walker's not my top 5. Like, come on,
with fake news. With this fake news.
You got the fake news. Like, come on, now. You take all the double. Get out of here with that, man. Come on, now. He's 6'11". He's not 7 foot.
Lonnie Walker.
I got proof right here. I got my screenshot. He's not 7 foot. So what's up?
Screenshot. What's your source, Roddy?
I got 247 Sports. And I got the NBA website. What are you talking about?
You got NBA.com.
No, not NBA.com. No. What are you laughing at? You got one site.
I got NBA.com, the actual source.
You got one site. You do know the NBA. You do know the NBA inflates some sizes sometimes. You do know that, right? You do know that, right?
Bro,
You do know that, right?
Hold
Did you
on.
just
You
quote a
do know
Frank
that, right?
24/7?
All right,
Hold on.
look.
Hold. I got NBA Scout Live as
Hey,
well.
listen,
Till
New
he's
Jersey,
11.
New
I got
Jersey online
NBA
says he's
Scout
six
Live as
foot.
well. Oh, I
New
got
Jersey
NBA Scout
online
Live
says
as
he's
well.
6'7". New Jersey
I
online
got
says he's 6'7".
NBA Scout Live as well. That's two websites I
Hey,
got now.
hey,
That's
NBA
two.
2K, NBA
That's
2K's
two.
got to Friday. I said
I don't play
NBA.com.
games.
I'm glad we got.
You got one
Fred,
site. I
Fred,
got two. Like, come
Fred,
on now.
get your boy.
Come on,
We gotta
man.
get
Come
some.
on, man.
We got to miss
Come
some
on,
better
man. Let's
panelists.
get this Republican, man. Get this Republican, man. Come on, get him, man.
Hold up.
Get him, man.
Look.
What's
All
that?
right, so hold on.
What's that?
I got a couple honorable mentions, but let me just for the
Can we
record.
get an objective viewer, Fred? Can you go to
Yeah,
NBA.com and look up?
Look,
Can you go to NBA.com and look up? So I don't have to. I'm gonna show you a screenshot of everyone, but I wish we can do this on like tape.
I'm finding them right now. Hold on.
Damn, I got a third website. Oh my god, I just keep
You gotta
finding them.
find him. I gotta find one that I quoted and you agreed to.
It's because you
I'm
got
glad we
one.
got it
I
on
got
tape.
more than one. So you go to one doctor. He says that's what it is. I go to more than one. I get one-on-one source.
So look, hold
Shut
on.
Yeah, if I
up,
go to
Russ.
Mount
Hold on.
Sinai
Shut up,
versus I go
Russ.
to
Hey,
Philly
Come
Star
on now.
Street,
hey,
I'm
Come
gonna go
on
to
now.
that doctor, bro.
Like, get out of here.
Come on.
Hey, time
Come
out.
on now.
Hey,
Come
time
Come
on,
out.
on
bro.
now. Come
Look.
on now.
JaVale
Soft ass
McGee,
Look.
Lonnie Walker.
This cupcake no fantasy when
Hold
the
up.
bum on here talking.
Hold up.
Get
Look.
out of here, man.
Someone's getting spicy.
Come
Time
Someone's getting
out.
on,
upset.
man. Come on now.
Someone's
Yo.
getting upset.
This
Time out.
little bum fantasy player on
Yo.
here. Get out of here,
All
man.
right, time out, yo. Look. I'm gonna give y'all an objective perspective real quick. Now, I have seen him listed as 7 foot on one website, but also he's been listed as 6'11" on NBADraft.net.
Thank you.
Now, look, hold on. So we do know that the NBA, they give you an inch, take an inch off. That's what they do. So if you want to say 7 foot, you want to say 6'10", he's probably around 6'10", 6'11", and they're going to add that 7 foot. So at the end of the day, he's tall. so
Fred, I appreciate the help for you.
You guys
our
are
friend. I shouldn't say that. Roddy, you're my true friend. I understand. You're
No,
my friend.
we not friends. We're not friends.
Friend.
We're not friends. We're not
Roddy,
friends.
draft
We're not
net.
friends. We're
Do
not
we have
friends.
this? Do we have this conversation
We're
recorded?
not friends. We're not friends.
Let me break down the measurements. Now look. You know I'm
Do
the
we have this
stats.
conversation?
Hold on.
Here's another one. Woo, that's four.
Let me go.
That's
You
four.
know I am the stats guy. So whenever everybody have an argument, just let me know. I'll try to bring up the stats because look, I'm on the side of what's right. So look, here it is, just for argument's sake. Notes. He was measured at a combine at 6'10.5 barefoot.
Put the shoes on, then he's 7 foot probably.
And 6'11.5 in shoes with a 7
Oh, okay.
That was his measurements at a combine. So
I guess that's bull crap too, I guess. You're right. It's not NBA.com. It don't count for it. It's not NBA.com. They write about everything. Like Trump is. I forgot.
So for argument's sake, I feel like you guys cancel each other out. We're just gonna leave it at that. But we got another wager. Russell did say that Mo Wagner is gonna get credible minutes, and he's gonna be pretty much relevant fantasy wise this year. So that's what you're saying. He's gonna be relevant. He's worthy of a roster spot. Is that what you're saying, Russ?
Yeah, but I'm not putting money on that.
No, we don't got to put money on it. We're just gonna go back and just watch. Like, look. In a couple
facts,
of months,
100% facts. We could do a fourth quarter, or we could do a first quarter report half a quarter through the year.
In a couple of months, everybody could be eating crow on our picks. But I think we each can agree that Ayton is definitely going to be a sure shot bet this year, fantasy wise and real life. I think we agreed on Kevin Knox.
We agreed on Ayton, Kevin Knox, and Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton. And then that's where everything kind of went away. Now, let me throw a couple rookie names out here just to see what you guys think. Michael Porter Jr. We can go around the room. How you think he's going to turn out? I mean, this is a guy that was really projected to be a number one pick a couple years ago. Got injured. You know what I mean? He had back surgery. Then he had another surgery when he got drafted. So how do you think he's going to turn out in Denver? He's in a good spot, but I don't know if he's going to be that relevant fantasy-wise.
I think, brutally honest, I think he's obviously got all the attributes to be a great player, great wing player, but due to the injury, you know what he kind of reminds me of in terms of just overall body makeup, kind of play, kind of like a Jeff Green, I would say. And I just feel as though he's got good potential. He's got all the things there, but I don't know, man. The injury scares me. I think that he's kind of got that type of vibe for me. But I mean, it's tough because I really like Michael Porter coming out of or coming out of high school. I mean, really had high hopes for him, and I think Fred, we had conversations earlier in the draft where we were talking. I said he's being slept on, but the injury and the stuff that I've read about it, and just him having the issues at a young age, I don't know, kind of scares me about him. So I think he's 50-50.
Roddy, what you think, Roddy?
He has no fantasy relevance this year. Denver is stacked for one. They don't actually need him. They don't actually need him. They can actually sit on him if they want. So I don't see no fantasy relevancy. And on top of that, I don't play when it comes to back injuries. My wife's dealing with a back injury, and I know how back injuries are. So I don't trust him, and I don't trust them back injuries. So, but like Russ said, out of high school, the boy was talented. He was projected to be the top player. But when you have a back injury that young, I'm sorry, I can't really hold too much weight on that. And we got to see how things plan out for him going forward.
Fantasy-wise, yeah, definitely is not going to be relevant. I thought we were just talking more about outlook.
Yeah, I mean, both, you know what I mean? They kind of tie in together. So, all right, I'm going to throw a couple other names out. Marvin Bagley. Roddy, how you feel about him?
Oh, I don't know what it is. I just don't like Marvin Bagley. He's, for one, he has all the minutes, so he's going to put up some numbers. But his field goal percentage is going to be terrible. I don't think his free throw percentage is going to be pretty good either. But they're going to give him the keys. They're going to let him do what he do, and he's going to have opportunity to do a lot of different things. I just see more so, to me, his game is more so a low budget Michael Beasley to me. That's just me personally. Michael Beasley is more talented than him when he came out. And if it wasn't for Michael Beasley's mind and headset and the opportunity he was at in Miami, he might have been something. More than what he is, but I just don't see Marvin Bagley being as far as a superstar going forward. But he will have some fantasy relevance. He will be somebody you can pick up, give you some points, some boards, and that'll be about it. I mean, a couple of threes here and there.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a middle of the pack type of rookie in terms of fantasy value. I think he has an opportunity to put up double in points. But I think the fact that he's just in Sacramento, I think they haven't had a lot of recent success with rookies and just in general. So I think that scares a lot of people away. But I think when you look at he's a player built for the NBA. Like looking at a lot of these players coming out in this draft class, you got a lot of good sized guys. Like another name I'll throw out there too is Mikal Bridges playing out in Phoenix, playing off with Devin Booker and with DeAndre Ayton. Just his long-term outlook. But you got a lot of big guys in this draft, I believe. But I don't know. When it comes to Bagley, I think he's got my answer would be he puts up double in points. But like Roddy said, I think he's very inefficient, and I think he disappoints on the rebounding. I think he doesn't get anywhere close to double digits in rebounds.
No, he won't. He won't. I see about 6 rebounds in game 7.
So he might be one of those guys that you got to keep on the radar for the next couple seasons. Not this year. I think I got a sleeper, but I don't know. It all depends on.
I do too. But go ahead. I got one too.
My sleeper is the guy out in Orlando, Mo Bamba. If Vucevic can get traded, which I mean, it's been rumors that he was going to get traded for 3 years now. But if they finally pull the trigger and trade Vucevic, I think Mo Bamba could be the next Rudy Gobert. I mean, I'm not sitting there saying he's going to be a dominant center, but fantasy-wise, the kid probably can get you almost 3 blocks a game. Definitely a double machine. Nothing crazy. He's getting better. He's young. He's long as hell. But he's a guy that mid-season, if they can work out a trade, he might be one of the biggest fantasy pickups as the season go on. If they could work out a trade and get rid of Vucevic.
Okay.
Who's your sleeper?
What do you guys think about Mikal? This is not my sleeper, but just what do you guys think about Bridges out in Phoenix?
I just think it's a logjam, man. It's hard to see minutes going to the wing positions, man. Like you sign Ariza for 15 mil. You still got Josh Jackson who's going to
But
develop.
Josh Jackson has disappointed, man. People are starting to really fade on Josh Jackson.
Yeah, but it's 1 year. Like, you know what I mean? You can't give up on a player for 1 year. I say if
You
you
see
ain't
him in the
show,
summer league?
it don't matter. It don't matter. I'm looking at it like this. If you got a 3-year window when you're a top pick, 3-year window. If you're not anything by your 3rd year, like I would say, who's the guy out in Charlotte that everybody, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of those guys that had potential since he got drafted, and he had a broke shot, didn't develop, didn't get his stuff right, and now nobody's talking about him. I can't really rule out Josh Jackson just yet. But yeah, if you guys are down on him, I understand. I'm not ready to pull the plug on him yet.
Yeah,
Bridges coming out in that Nova system, man. He's got the size and he can shoot. I mean, I don't know. What were you gonna say, Roddy?
I like Mikal Bridges, but I agree with Nux. It's a log jam there. I think he's gonna be the player that Phoenix gonna make a move and free some space up, and then after that he'll be getting his minutes that he's supposed to get and start producing. His only issue is it's a log jam. Other than that, he's great. But on what I was about to say about Josh Jackson, yeah, that hasn't really shown any improvement. But like you said, you gotta give him more time. I can't just brush him off. You gotta give him a couple years, and maybe as the season goes and training camp gets going, he might show a little bit more something. But he didn't really show too much in summer league, and so I see what Russ is saying. But you gotta give him, you know what I mean?
What are Josh Jackson's strengths?
But I think
defense, athleticism. He definitely goes after it. His shot is kind of broken, and he doesn't have great, a shot like that. But he has great defense. He can get steals and get blocks. And he hustles and he's athletic.
I think one of his problems was coaching last year too. You know what I mean? Like he started out with Earl Watson was starting out coaching, and they had him starting. And then when they got Triano, he came in and said, "Look, we want a traditional lineup. Put T.J. Warren, and then brought Josh Jackson off the bench." So when you coming in, fresh out of college, and you were a high projected player, and then you starting, and then you're getting put on the bench. It can mess with the psyche. A lot of these kids, they're kids, man. So they're not really mentally there at all times. No excuses. He should work on his game and get better, at least for this season. But I want to see him with a solid coach that could coach him all year long. And if he doesn't do nothing this year, I feel the same way y'all feel, man. But they do got some wings that's waiting that if he does mess up, his leash is going to be real short. Because Mikal Bridges, they had him projected to be like a Kawhi Leonard, Otto Porter type,
That's what I'm saying. And when you look at Josh Jackson, I think you made an excellent comparison, Fred. He's got Michael Kidd Gilchrist written all over him. I think in 3 years, we're going to be saying Josh Jackson. Same type of conversation because, Roddy, I get what you're saying, but if he wasn't a high pick, those wouldn't be listed as strengths. He would just be another dude in the league. He's got athleticism. He's got defense. But
on top of that, in college too, if you watch him, which I did, he actually has a scoring mentality too. So he does score, and I think what Fred brings up a great point. It was more so his psyche. Just like you see players in the NFL, you say, yo, what's going on with him? He was a stud. All of a sudden, it's his psyche. Coaches messes with that. I think that's more so along the lines with Josh Jackson. Because in college, he had a scoring mentality, and he wanted the ball, and he went to go after it. He would make big shots and do this and that. So I just think that once he gets his confidence and, gets more of a feel for a game and puts in the work, then he could probably possibly be something. But I see what you're saying, Russ. I get it. But on a side note, right quick, since you mentioned Kawhi Leonard, you see him sitting with my boy Kobe Bryant. I just want to put that out there.
My boy Kobe Bryant. My boy Kobe Bryant. Yeah. We'll say the bigger Kobe Bryant fan.
Me. Oh my God. Let me ask you a question. How many Kobe high school games did you go to? Let me ask you that question. How many Kobe high school games?
I don't remember. I was 4.
Exactly. I did. I went to a lot. Trust me. I'm a Kobe fan, man.
I was 4.
I'll let y'all argue about
it. But going back to Josh Jackson, it was funny because I was watching the summer league. I mean, he did not have a good summer league, and
no, he didn't.
That's worrisome when you get locked up and you can't score in the summer league. I mean, that's not good. So, and like people said, they had high opinions of Miguel, and he's coming from Nova. Like, he's coming from a great system. So.
I mean, but the same thing that everybody said about Mikal Bridges, they said about Josh Jackson last year. You know what I mean? Like the same attributes. Josh Jackson was compared to the Kawhis. There was some people going out on the limb saying he was Kobe,
But
Andre
all three of us looking at the eye test. Come on, looking at their college games, you can tell Bridges is a better player. He's a better all around player. His offense is significantly better. You can tell that in college. You can tell that.
Is it just because he played for Nova? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's just because he's got a better perimeter jump shot.
Hold on. You threw this out there. Mikal Bridges didn't light up Summer League either. Just want to put that out there. I'm just saying. Mikal Bridges did nothing in Summer League.
He didn't light up Summer League, but he's also not a sophomore. That's another thing.
But he also stayed 4 years in college. I mean, I'm just saying. Josh Jackson was a freshman coming out.
I understand, but Josh Jackson had an opportunity. He didn't do anything. He goes to the Summer League. He didn't do anything with that opportunity. Mikal Bridges coming out. You can't compare them at different stages.
What opportunity did Josh Jackson really have if he had his spot taken away too prematurely? Had two different coaches, two different coaching styles, and the only people they really rock with on that team was Devin Booker. That was it. That was it. I mean, you had Tyson Chandler still starting, for crying out loud. That's telling you right there that there's a coaching issue. You're not even developing any of your young guys at all. You didn't want to develop nobody.
How many minutes did he get last year?
Who, Josh Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll check right now.
I'm just saying.
He averaged 25.4 minutes.
So I mean, what was
his numbers? What was his
numbers? No. 13 points, 4.6 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and I believe he also had some steals.
Yo, it's veterans that can't even average that, and that was rookie numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. I think y'all like you can't write him off yet. Like look at Andre Iguodala's rookie numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, he could be Andre Iguodala. If anything,
I can see that.
He's getting those numbers in Phoenix's system. 25 minutes. Like, I mean,
Phoenix had no system.
It's obvious. It's what do you mean they had no system? He's playing on the court. He's getting 25 minutes a game.
I'm saying, how many different coaches did you have? Like, it was some games that he didn't even play because Coach Triano was so hard-nosed and so hard-pressed about playing veterans that he didn't even play Josh Jackson sometimes like that. So, you know what I mean? So, like, I kept up on him because I kept up on, Phoenix last year because I owned Devin Booker in one of the leagues. You know what I mean? So, there was certain games Josh Jackson had pretty good games. He had a typical rookie season. I'm not ready to just give up on him just like that. Like, if you look at how many points did he average, right? 13 points, right? But now, how many points did Trevor Ariza average? And he got 15 mil.
But what's the field goal percentage?
He's a rookie. I'm not looking at all that.
Yes, you are. You are looking at that. You're looking at all you don't tell the entire story.
But what rookies are coming in the league blazing their field goal percentage?
Right.
That's tough.
I mean, listen. We'll see. I'll leave it. It's. I'm not going to go into further debate. We'll see on Josh Jackson. Very, very, very low on Josh Jackson. Very low on his outlook, me personally, for the year. I think Bridges will end up getting more time, more opportunity by the end of the year. Like you said.
I think Bridges a lot has to go into his favor. TJ Warren has to get traded because he was our second leading scorer last year. There's no way Mikal Bridges is just going to come and take the 20 points that TJ Warren averaged last year away.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
TJ Warren is their starting small forward. Then you got to figure out the point guard situation. Is Devin Booker going to run more of the point? I think they're going to initially give it to Josh Jackson first. If Josh Jackson has every opportunity, if he blows it, then Mikal Bridges, like you said, is going to come in, take those minutes. They're going to give him some burn. But you still got Trevor Ariza there. You're not giving him $15 million just to be a mentor.
Yeah, you definitely not.
So he's going to be one of those second half players that if Phoenix stinks, like, everybody's projecting, if they're not even close to a playoff team, then Mikal Bridges is going to be a waiver wire pickup that everybody's going to snatch because they're going to let him play. But, look, I'm not arguing against it. I like the kid. I think you guys are spot on with, I'm just not ready to give up on Josh Jackson yet. That's why I didn't really understand.
Me either.
I I didn't understand the Trevor Ariza move, especially if you were drafting Mikal Bridges, you got Josh Jackson, T.J. Warren. That just didn't make sense signing Trevor Ariza because he's a veteran taking minutes away from this young core that you got.
We shall see. We shall see.
What about let's see. Who is your sleeper, Roddy?
As far as what just having a significant
Rookie, yeah.
Aaron Holiday.
Okay. There you go. Now look, do you guys think there's going to be a Donovan Mitchell out of this group? Like, last year everybody had their top 5. Donovan Mitchell was kind of like on the outside looking in, and he just took the lead by storm. Do you think we have that in this rookie class, or is it any of the guys that we mentioned?
Well, I think we're all high on Sexton. I don't think. Well, here's the thing. I think playing in the East and playing on that team, if Kevin Love stays healthy, I think the Cavs, if they can make the playoffs and he can put up some good performances in the first round, I think he has the potential to draw comparisons in terms of the rookie year. But I personally think I'm starting to really buy in on this Luka Doncic hype. Like I'm really starting to see if a lot of players are saying it. I mean, the tape looks good. I understand he's playing in Euro, but the talent level he's playing with is high. So I would say those two guys are primed to, in my opinion, kind of duplicate a Donovan Mitchell year.
You think Doncic?
Absolutely.
There's no way.
I don't see it.
The only reason I strongly disagree is because he's
Tough
not
to make
coming
the playoffs.
It's not even that. He's not going to be the man. Like he's going to be the guy that fit into the system. But if you think he's going to come in and score more than Dennis Smith, I don't think he's going to average more than Dennis Smith's point wise. This year, we can put
that's something I'm willing to put that on tape as well. That's a good one.
That's not happening.
Doncic is going to score more than
Hey, Russ.
Hold on. Is he going to score more than Harrison Barnes?
No, absolutely not. Come on.
Okay, making sure you. Okay, all right.
All right, you do. I'm just saying, you do know that Dennis Smith averaged 15 last year, right?
I understand. This year, Doncic will average more than Dennis Smith.
So you're saying that Doncic's going to average close to 20? Because I think Dennis Smith's going to get 20.
I'm saying again, I think Doncic will average more than Dennis Smith.
All right, look, that's our first wager right here. We'll be betting wings.
Do something. We can do a money bet, or we can do where do you guys go for like a red robin with like Jay or something like that?
Yeah,
let's do that. That'd be cool.
We'll figure it out later, but that's officially on tape. I say Dennis Smith will average more points than Doncic. You say Doncic average more points than Dennis Smith. There we go.
That's a big leap of faith, but I'm telling you, man, people are saying great things. They've always said great things. I like it. Points wise, I think he's going to be a better scorer than Dennis Smith in general.
What? Are you saying points wise?
No.
Because I'm about to say, I know you're not talking about overall game.
No, I mean
he's not to say that. No, I'm talking points, in terms of scoring ability. He's got a better J. He can space the floor out a little bit better. I think he's got equal. Okay. That's where me and Fred disagree majorly.
So let me say this: as great as he was great, right? He was great in Euro. Did all this thing against grown men, beast. He only averaged 16 points. like Dennis Smith averaged 15 points going against the Westbrooks, going against the Damian Lillards, going against.
But they're playing eight more minutes and no running clock. It's a lot more time.
82 games in the NBA season.
And you do know those NBA players he's playing against in Europe couldn't cut it in the NBA. You do realize that, right? So I want to hear he's playing NBA talent. Those guys do not carve out. No, he's not. He's not guarding until he's playing against John Walls and the Westbrooks and the Steph Currys and the Kyrie Irving will cook him. Kyrie Irving will cook him.
I'm not gonna have that argument. I'm not gonna go down a path on him, right?
I'm just saying. I'm not going to project the next 5 years, but I think next year, with already a year under his belt in the NBA, this is already a year under his belt in the NBA. He's already familiar with the NBA game. He already knows the pace. He already knows the scheduling. He already has all that into play. The only thing that can stop Dennis Smith from averaging more points than Luka Doncic is injury. There's no way that Doncic's going to come in.
I think the size, I
Don't
think
matter.
the scoring ability, I think the attitude, I think the experience. That's my bet. That's my.
So,
If
so
that that
so you're saying Euro experience is better than NBA experience?
Pretty much.
I'm not
That's
saying that.
okay. Then there's no way that he's going.
So
I mean,
so
look,
so
I could be
again, I
wrong.
mean, listen. You
That's
can't
why we have a
again.
bet.
I'll recap. I'll recap it for you. All of the things that I mentioned, in addition to the experience and the experience of playing in high pressure moments. He's playing in championship games and winning championship games against top level NBA talent.
It's not top level NBA talent. It would be in the
Chris,
league. What are you talking about?
He won a
Oh my
championship against. He
God,
won a Euro
man.
championship against Kristaps Porzingis.
One player. One player.
So that's right.
That's not right. You said
So be quiet. You just said
no.
you don't
You
have top
said
tier talent.
overall. You said
Is
overall.
Kristaps Porzingis not a top tier
One
player?
player. One player.
Is he not a top tier player? Is Kristaps Porzingis not a top tier player?
He's not nothing now because he's injured. He's not nothing now because he's injured.
I'm gonna ask you again, Roddy.
He's not. I answered you.
Don't be stupid.
He's not. First of all, I'm far from stupid, homie. Watch him out. Watch him out. Let's ready to back it up. Watch him out. Let's ready to back it up.
Listen.
That's what. Hold. What I don't do. What I don't do as a grown ass man is go back to what the name calling unless you're ready to back it up. I am a grown man. Don't forget that.
Listen. If you
don't forget that
personally because you know you're wrong, you were wrong.
Don't forget. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. I can debate sports all day and not get mad. But what you're not gonna do is tell don't be stupid. That's not gonna fly off from here. That's not gonna fly on here unless you're ready to back it up. And I'm ready. And I'm ready.
Don't be.
And I'm ready. I'm ready. To let you know, a grown ass man here ready.
Roddy.
Grown man here is ready. I'm a grown man and I'm ready. Let's get that out there first. Let's get that out there first.
Recorded, man. This kid.
Don't worry about the record it. I don't care. You can record it, play it for the cops, whatever you gotta do. I'm a grown man. I'm ready. That's what I gotta say. You keep worrying about recording. Like, come on, man.
I don't know. I'm talking basketball.
Just watch him out. Just watch him out.
I'm talking basketball.
Just watch him out. Just watch him out. No, watch him out. Just watch him out. I'm gonna leave it at that.
So I'm gonna talk basketball. So again, like I said, he played against top tier talent and he played against top tier talent in a high pressure moment.
You name one top tier player. One top tier player is not top tier talent. Like, all right, so I feel what you're saying, but when I say top tier talent, let me I'll give you the floor back.
Right. Y'all go ahead and finish. I'll catch you later, man.
All right. So look, let me just go back.
Roddy gets zesty.
Hold on. Listen. Let me go back. So here's what I'm saying. I know we got to get off here, but this is what I'm saying. This is my argument. You made your argument. We're not going to agree because you feel strongly. I feel strongly. Here's my argument. Yeah. So just to recap. So Luka Doncic played against top tier talent. The top tier talent that you named was Kristaps Porzingis. Got you. I feel you on that. That's great. I'm saying that Dennis Smith played against top tier talent in the NBA, like the reigning MVP, Russell Westbrook. That. You know what I mean? He had good games against Westbrook. He had good games against a lot of players. He's clutch. He hits game winners. He's a scorer at heart. He's just
playing. But keep this in mind, Fred, too. He's playing the point. So as playing the point, when we make that wager, keep that in mind because from my standpoint, I just feel like when you got a guy who's 6'7", who can handle the ball, who can space the floor, who can shoot, who's big in terms of size, who's not a skinny guy, he's going to be able to play off Dennis Smith, but he's going to be also able to score in a lot of different ways. And Dennis Smith's not. And he's going to have the ball in his hand because he has the court vision.
But you just helped my case here. If he is having the ball in his hand, he's not going to score because one of his greatest attributes is diamond. Dennis Smith is a ready-made scorer. He gets buckets. That's what he does. So if you take the ball out of his hand, you're giving him more opportunities to score. He can shoot. Dennis Smith can shoot too. He can space the floor. He drives to the lane. He finishes strong. He has all the great attributes also. Like if you go back and watch game tape on Dennis Smith, I'm just saying he's a driver. He does all that. So putting Doncic in with him playing off the ball, if you take him off the ball, then Dennis Smith becomes a scorer. If you keep the ball in his hand, he's forced to be a point guard. So I'm saying if you're going to give a 50-50 distribution between Doncic and Dennis Smith in the backcourt, Dennis Smith can easily adapt to being a shooting guard because they did that. They experimented with that already when they had Yogi Ferrell playing point guard and moved Dennis Smith to the 2. He didn't like it, but his scoring went up. So if you take him off the ball, his scoring's going to go up. But we'll see. We can go back.
That's fair. We got to get back there because I'm telling you, I like Doncic. I mean, I just got a lot of faith. I got a lot of faith in Doncic. I got a lot of faith. I think Celtics have a big year. I think Bridges, another guy. I think that's going to be low key under the radar. Going to have a good year. I think Wagner's going to have a good year.
So look,
we'll see.
I want you to keep that same energy.
I'm keeping it.
And I'll keep it too. Look, I'm going on the record. I do not dislike Doncic. I just don't think he's going to be what everybody says he's going to be. Just give him time. Don't call him a bust. Let him develop because he might have his ups and downs too. I think he's going to be good as advertised. He's going to be great. He's going to be decent, but I don't think he's going to outscore Dennis Smith this season. That's just my opinion. Like I said, we got a nice little wager going on.
Absolutely.
And if I'm wrong, I'll come right on here, right on the mic, and I'll look you in your eye and say, Russ, you were right.
I plan on it, man. I'm going to enjoy it. I can't wait. We're going to do something fun with the kids. It's going to be magical. We're going to have a good time. I wish I would give my $100, but we got that on tape too. I'm not going to press that, but it is what it is. Thank you for having me on, Fred. This was another great episode. I think you got some entertainment conversations that I got the strong pointers. Of course, I win. But thank you for having me on. I'm just kidding.
You guys definitely made it entertaining, man. Until next time, we're going to sign off, man. This is RotoTalk Podcast. Top 5 rookies for fantasy basketball 2018-2019 season. Signing off.
Peace.